What's up, ladies and gents? We should be live now. We'll do members only type of video for everybody today for the NFL Showdown tonight. I'm not digging this one. It doesn't seem to be like a very obvious, clear pecking order. You know, when you break down the showdowns, you guys do it for yourselves or whoever you're watching or whatever it might be. And you're like, okay, I feel really good about these 4 or 5 guys. Now I just need to make 1 to 2 decisions. Like, I don't have that today. Like, I feel really good about Lamar Jackson. So does everybody. Obviously, he's going to be a captain, like, overwhelming. But after that, it's not as clear. Like, I like Hollywood Brown, but that's a pretty penny over there. So let's talk it through. We'll do our best, and hopefully everybody can win some money tonight. So I just locked Jackson in to the captain spot. Like, there's no getting around that one for me. It's way too obvious. Easy peasy. It's Lamar Jackson. Why would you want to go anywhere else? So what I mentioned with Brown, which I like him, but if you get up to Marquise Hollywood Brown, like, you're really going to start, losing out on a lot of other players. So as far as who the quarterback is tonight, I don't think it's drastically different from Miami's perspective. Obviously, I would like Tua, a little more than I would like Jacoby Brissett. He appears to be firmly questionable. I guess we'll just have to wait this one out and see how it goes. Myles Gaskin has been really, really solid lately in the running game and the passing game. Again, he ain't exactly cheap either. And he doesn't get a ton of touchdowns, which is kind of the problem from him from like a running back perspective. He has 1 rushing touchdown all year. Not that he hasn't gotten a couple in on the ground. Obviously, he had a couple against Tampa, a lot of junk time stuff right there. So, he's a guy you can look at. I think for me, the guy I'm most likely to jump on here is going to be Jalen Waddle. I figured they're going to have to be throwing. And he's another one that his targets are real big time. So I like that from his perspective. So let's actually go all the way down to the bottom. And let's talk about the Miami wide receivers for a little bit. So outside of Jalen Waddle, and I'm under the assumption that I think Baltimore is going to win the game, and I think Miami's going to have to throw. For how long they have to go super throw heavy, hey, it could be 3 quarters, it could be half a quarter. I don't really know, but I expect that's going to be something that comes up for him at some point. Problem with Miami is with Devontae Parker out, they got all these cheap wide receivers. None of them are really good answers. We're talking about Isaiah Ford, Preston Williams, Merritt, Albert Wilson. Mac Hollins is your number 2, but he's not even that cheap. He's $4,200, so not a lot of desire necessarily right there. He's got some decent scores because he's managed to get in the end zone, but this is also a guy that has 35 combined yards over the last 3 weeks. So, yeah, he's scored twice, but I don't think he's like necessarily that dude. The guy that I'm looking at from the cheap on Miami is going to be Salvon Ahmed. Again, he ain't a great play, but he's cheap, so he definitely fits in there. And this can help you get up to a Hollywood Brown, for example. Now, you can't get Brown and a quarterback from Miami, so you're going to have to make your decisions right there. If I need 30, give me Hollywood Brown. If I'm simply looking for 10 points guaranteed, I guess I'd maybe take the run quarterback. It's close, though. It is really, really close. Hitting back to those Dolphin wide receivers, though, the one that's the most intriguing to me is going to be Preston Williams, only because I think he's the best, but he's been oddly inactive. They've referenced they talk about it on here in DK too, healthy scratch back-to-back games. Absence was noted as disciplinary related. I don't know what that means. The last time we saw him, play a full game, he did have 4 targets against Atlanta. He had 5 against Tampa. So at 200, especially in the GPP role, I could see taking a chance on him. If you want Brown in your lineup, you can get Andrews and Gesicki in here or something like that. And this is kind of what I mentioned with not a real clear pecking order. It sounds like Latavius Murray is out, and I tend to think that Baltimore wins this game. So am I excited about Devontae Freeman? I'm not, but he has scored 3 straight weeks. So I kind of like the idea of getting Freeman in my lineup. So let's take out, what's his face, because he's not needed, because right here we're at 68.5. Could you get to Hollywood Brown here? You can. Who you left over with? Smythe? Not much. What happens if you switch over to Tua? Let's say Tua plays. Get the Dolphins kicker. That's not so bad. Jacoby Brissett. Oh, I'm still missing out on Tucker. And this could be one like maybe you believe in Gesicki today. And I could get us Rashad Bateman. That I could do. Watkins is supposed to play tonight, but I think Bateman, I think it's his time to shine. So something along these lines works for me. I would like to get the Miami quarterback or Marquise Hollywood Brown, but I do feel like right here, I got Lamar Jackson, Freeman, Bateman. Watkins is supposed to come back tonight. He's listed as questionable, but I've heard he's going to play. He has not been out there in a few weeks, and I think ideally they want the kid. They want Bateman to be the guy. So something along these lines. If you want to get another, what am I going to say, another Ravens piece in here, that's absolutely something I can get on board with. You take Gesicki out. Nothing else really fits right there. So if you want to look at Andrews, like Andrews is a little bit pricey too. So as of right now, I'll probably roll with something similar to that. Lamar Jackson at captain's kind of the no-brainer. I like Jalen Waddle to be the guy for Miami. The targets they're monstrous. They're so weak at wide receiver. He's clearly the guy right here. This is a guy with 43 targets over the last 4 weeks, and he hasn't even scored 3 weeks in a row. It's a bad offense. If you want to load up on Baltimore, I get that. But I think Jackson, Waddle, I think Ahmed is my ideal cap space, but there's a whole bunch of wide receivers down there. And then I think I will use Devontae Freeman. And I like Bateman. So this is probably where I would end up, something similar to this. And I don't think Gesicki's a must or anything like that, but something similar and kind of like this. So I told you guys I'd keep it short today. That's it. Good luck tonight.